Merhaba, bugünkü videoma hoş geldiniz. Ben Büyük Bey. Bugün sizlerle beraber en sonki mal oyundan devam ediyoruz. Arkadaki elemanlar sürekli aynı şeyi konuşuyormuş. O götü oğlu götü duymaktan sıkıldım. Neyse başlayalım. Bu kapıları çözdük. Mavi kapı, kırmızı kapı. Ananı sikeyim, bana yapma bunu. Sikip amına koyayım. Zaten bütün konuşuyor orospu çocuğu.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Herhalde bir kere bitirdim, bir kere
Stanley
bitiriyorsun.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Her şeyi çözdükten sonra doğru düzgün oynayacağım bunu.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Stanley onu da almadı. O kapıyı da
Stanley
almak
was so
lazım.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Bir dakika, burada kapı var
There's
mıydı?
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Hiç
Someone you've
hatırlamıyorum.
forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Siktir yoktu.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Bir de hava durumu hiç mi bu amcık dışarıya çıkmadı? Tek dışarı çıktığında yerde bayıldım. Ananı tamam.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sikeceğim sesini solanı ya.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Stanley onu almadı amına koyayım, yeter
Stanley was so
artık.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
İlk defa şu düz
Look,
gidiyoruz.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Kim beni bekliyor? Karı mı? Ananı sikeyim, yapma.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Başka sen niye ben hayatıma koyayım amına koyayım ya? Sikik miyim neyim amına koyayım, öyle bir şey yapayım. Öldüm değil mi? 422 diyor. Aha, eve mi geldik?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Aha.
Right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Orospu çocuğu.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Oğlum inanmıştım bu arada, biliyor musun?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Ne? Good morning employee. Niye üçgene basacağım? Öldüm mü ben?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Hayır, hayır, hayır,
Now
hayır,
he's
hayır, hayır.
pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work.
Beni geri işe
You might even
alacak.
feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Hayır, hayır, hayır. Beni geri işe
But in
sokma.
his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Televizyon izlerim.
And so he began to fantasize
Hayır.
about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building
Orospu
had
çocuğu,
suddenly
neden bana bunu
vanished
yapıyorsun?
off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Boyzlarla, agalarla vakit geçirmek mi? Tabii lan.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Hadi yapma bana bunu.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game
Sik
of
gibi
baby.
dinledim ya.
And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Ya bana bunu yapma ya.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Bana bunu yapma ya. Seni sevmiyorum amına koyayım.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Yarrak uyku
And
değil
I'm
mi?
trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Niye aga? Please press daire to be at work in the morning. Basmıyorum lan. Başka ne yapayım? Sıçayım buraya amına koyayım. Hı?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Evde insanlar var. İş bu. son 2 gündür mental sağlığım
Just a step through
onun
this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I
Burası
can make it
değişmiş
through
mi?
this door, I can make it through them all.
Yok lan. Bu adamı
When
full
Stanley
dinlemek
came to a
varken
set of 2 open doors, this was
full
not the
dinlemek
correct
ne
way to the
demek
meeting
olsun.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was
Buna
okay.
benzer bir sus amına koyayım, konuşuyorum.
But eager to get back
Buna
to
benzer
business,
şey
Stanley
vardı.
took the first open door on his left.
Susmuyor amına koyayım. Detroit diye bir oyun vardı. Onu böyle bir kere bitirmiştim. Eğer bu video böyle güzel giderse hoşum. Lan 456 bir daha var. Aynı odadan bir tane daha var. Ne oluyor? Neyse. Bu video, yani bu video tutarsa, tutmasını geçtim, bu oyun sararsa Detroit'e bir daha başlarım. Uzun zamandır oldu oynamayalı. Şey yaparım onu. Yine bunun gibi anasını sikerim sonuna kadar.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oha, bununla atlayınca 5000 dolar ceza kesiyorlarmış. Do not jump from the...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for... This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be...
Baba, kafayı çizeceğim.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Çok komik amına koyayım.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Sektir lan.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Ananı sikiyim. Hayt. Hop. Tamam.
How
Yaptın
wonderful.
Suri,
Stanley
yaptın
was
Suri.
alone.
Böyle
Finally,
bir şarkım ne
this is
vardı ya?
great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way
Bence
to
bu
the
ilk
meeting room,
backrooms'a
and Stanley
benziyor.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get
çok
back to
andırıyor lan.
business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Dinliyorum lan seni.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Onu yapmıyoruz. Oba.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from
Garaj
here,
kapısı.
it's, left.
Bak, zenci yazacağım. Sondaki harf tutmadı.
Oh no, No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Amına koydum, kesin bunu yapacak.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Tabii ki de. Kağıda yazmış amına
Let's
koydum
see,
malı.
we went
Ben
down,
de öyle yapardım.
right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Biliyordum aga. Araba üstüme gelmez değil mi? Heh, tamam. Oba. Bizim kapı numarasını ananı sikim benim işten attı.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story
104
completely
işten
unusable.
atılmış.
How about rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm?
2304
Okay, from the top.
234 işten atılmış. Ananı piç. Ben 427'yim
All
sen
of
ben
his
de işten
co-workers
atıldım.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
O çok değişik olay lan.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Oba.
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
Vallahi
move the
dokunmadım.
story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who
Ben
wrote
de
the
salak gibi
story.
cevap veriyorum.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then. It's an adventure. Come Stanley. Let's
Taşacak
find
mısın
the
aga ya?
story.
Ben bu oyunu her türlü şekilde bitireceğim dedim de bunu bana yapamazsın ya. Hay amına koyayım, burada bile yol ayrılıyor. Kapıdan girsem kapı kapanacak diye korkuyorum. Kapanmadı.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Amına sikeyim.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Şuradan acaba kaç kere geçmişimdir? Videoların sonunda keşke
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong.
Oğlum
It's
kapı
possible
kapandı
the
bile
story is
duymadım.
back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
...83 at diyor. Orası öyle miydi hatırlamıyorum. Bu sol, burası da... Bak burada 456 var, onu diyorum.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Senin ama artık götüne... Oğlum o videolar var ya, bu fotoğrafın çok ilginç bir şeyi var dediler.
Well, I'll be
böyle.
honest, I don't recognize this place at all.
Sağ
Is this the
tarafı
story? I don't
tam bir
think so.
şeytan gibi bir
I
şey
can't
diyordu.
quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what?
Evet.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
İşte bu
I know
be.
you put in a lot of hard work and it really paid off, so good job. Oh no, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some
Siktir
people
git.
win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Bak yalan söyleme.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Yo, o line oraya gidiyordu da ben hep buradan böyle gidiyordum. Bak ben buraya girersem kapı
No,
kapanmasın.
I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on. You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Avradın çocuğunun.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss
Wow.
anything.
Ya bunun neresi olmuş sanacak bir şey.
Wait,
we're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Kendi numarama bakıyordum. Bak ya, yine bu aynı var.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Tamam lan. İşte bu be.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Olmasın.
Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Sikine takma diyor. Tamam diyorum, geçiyorum.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Ananı sikeyim.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Niye bu oyun korkutmak zorunda beni yani? Yemin ederim.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh,
new content? What does that mean, new content?
Aha.
Hello,
Konuşamadım
and thank you
ananı.
for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Oha.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going
Ben de
on
onu
here?
diyecektim.
Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's
Jump
the
circle.
jump circle.
31. Çok komik. Oha. Hop. Böyle zıplarlar işte. Hayır. Hayır. Hayır. Tamam. Şimdi 31 circle.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness.
Hemen cıplanma
Another
aldılar.
elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new
That's
content.
it?
Bu kadar
Oh,
mı?
you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills,
Adam akıllı
no
reset et.
gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Ha
What do
siktir.
you say, friend?
Tamam diyemedim amına kodumun çocuğu izin vermedi. Oğlum adam akıllı restart attık şu oyunu. Ben hareket ediyordum mu ediyor, bana mı öyle geliyor? Bence fena kafayı çiziyorum. Bak bak bak bak bak bak bak çömeleceksin diyor.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. Oh, never mind. You're not a dog.
Dork ne amına koyayım, sen bana küfür mü ediyorsun? Götün çocuğu göt. Oğlum ya, ben öbür tarafta gitmek istiyordum.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Yapımcısı her şeyi bilmiyordur bu arada. Aha. Bir dakika, benim Stanley sadece benim yaşadığım şeyleri mi söylüyor? Sanırım.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Bak ya. Hiçbir bok söylemeden kapıyı açıyor, bir şeyler yapıyor. Oyunun
Here's
sonu
another
acaba
moving
nasıl ya?
passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Mal mısın amına koyayım?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Görmek mi istiyorsun oğlum?
Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oo, Steam'de kötü biri paylaşmış. 2018 June'u ne hatırlamıyorum.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Ne
I'm
oluyor
trying to
lan?
make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I
Çok
feel
komik.
like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Aha, yeni özellik açılıyor.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all
Aynı
until
şeyi
the end
söylüyor.
of time, at which time everything will...
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are or were or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did he... Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week, or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking, and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed
Bir sene. Lan konuşan eleman. Baba hepsi cookie yüzünden. Keşke bekleseydim, ne olurdu.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there's... The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never...
Biri mi yürüyor, ananı sikeyim. Oha. Tavan fena akıtıyor. Ben yokken çok bir şey olmamış ya, devam abi. Sonunda ışık amına koyayım. Yuh. Bunun için 40 yıl falan sürmüyor muydu, öyle bir şey değil miydi? Oha. Ben acaba kaç yıldır bu odanın içindeyim? Hiçbir şey kalmamış. Kesin bir bok oldu. Götür beni, götür beni, götür beni, götür beni. Oğlum şu kuraklığa bak lan. Ne yapacağız oğlum? İyi, tamam. Bu da bu kadar olsun. Beyler bayanlar, hepiniz kendinize iyi bakın. Hoşça kalın. Görüşürüz.